Hi, and welcome back to Two-Wheeled Tuesdays, aka e-bikes with dummies, on Adventures with Piccadilly. Today's episode is going to be just a little bit different because I'm going to be bringing you live information about my bike as we go on a ride. So I'm just very briefly going to go over everything we have on our setup here. Starting from the left, this is my grip with our gear shift right here. This is my control panel, so it's switched on. I can use these to change my level of pedal assist 1 to 5, 1 being the least, 5 being the most on the pedal assist. 6 is no pedal assist, but keeps the throttle on, as you can see over here. And you can see, so 6 has a blue light, so you know the throttle will work, but the pedal assist will not. As we go down, and then all of those, the throttle is still working. So you see a green light, and then once we go to 0, boom, turns to red, then you know that neither the pedal assist nor the throttle will work. Also over here we have battery maintenance, the total tripometer of the, that's my crazy grandparents, say hi. The tripometer and a speed marker that's currently set in miles per hour. I've got my front brake here. I've got a left side camera coming across. This is my bell and phone mount. This, if you can see, I don't want to do it because it's set up right for me at the moment. But to change the height and angle of the handlebars, all you have to do, as we've seen in previous videos, press this button on the right, lift it up, move it up, down, the angle can be changed, and then just pop it back into place. On here, I've got my emergency kit and storage. This is my phone mount. Here is my rear brake, and then my throttle with throttle button. This is an add-on from Pedigo, but I like it. It's just a little bit more comfortable on the finger. I've also got a water bottle thing here, although I don't have a water bottle in the moment. All right, let's go. Turn signal. So here is the turn signal. It is paired in with my brake light on the back, just like in a car. So I flip it simply right or left to indicate which way I'm going to turn. I'm told it's actually a pretty bright blinker in the back there, so it can be easily seen even in the daytime. All right, now let's go. So one thing that's really important is, especially for a beginner, the most likely place that you're going to give yourself problems, I think, is by going too fast through a curve. Now, on just a normal bike, you control the speed at which you go, period, by your feet. So as you're cycling along, you control how fast or how slow you go. With a bike with pedal assist, you add that assistance on to every single pedal that you push, for lack of a better term. So when you make that turn, if you've got pedal assist on and you don't realize it, then the likelihood is that you're going to overspeed through a corner and you could fall. I have fallen once. This is exactly how I did it. I've seen other people fall this exact same way, just not realizing that that pedal assist is on when you're going in a curve. So you're almost like fighting yourself by pedaling way too fast, and you end up falling. So my advice is to just, as you're coming into a curve, or really anytime you're going downhill, to pop it either into 0 or 6. Both of those will turn your pedal assist completely off, and that way you don't have to worry about accidentally giving the bike too much power through a turn and messing yourself up. I like to put it on 6, because once I've come through the turn, once I've come through the apex of my turn, I like to use the throttle a little bit if I'm going to be going uphill, just to kind of punch me up that hill and get me going. But I want to make super sure that I'm never using the pedal assist when I don't need to. It's hard to use the the throttle when you don't mean to. Although I'm not gonna lie, more than once I have grabbed the throttle when I meant to grab the back brake. Don't do that, that's a really bad idea. But it's much easier to accidentally use the pedal assist if you forget it's on a lower setting and end up kind of biking off the side that you don't really mean to. So be aware of that. I like that 6 setting, like I said. One good thing with these bikes, these Pedego bikes specifically, is that if you are kind of scatterbrained like I am occasionally, and you end up using, because they're on the same hand, the throttle and the rear brake, anytime you engage the brake, it automatically cuts power to both the pedal assist and the throttle. So like I said a minute ago, where I accidentally hit the throttle instead of the brake, that's a problem. But if I were to hit both, brake always wins. So as soon as you hit that brake, not only does it start actually braking your tire, whichever one you're choosing, rear or forward, but it also will cut the power so you're not fighting again against yourself with the speed. Now my area is really hilly, which is the main reason that we wanted to get electric bikes. While I might have been interested in biking with just a standard bike on these hills, I know that my mom, who has a pacemaker put in, and other members of my family who aren't super athletic, not that I'm super athletic by any stretch of the imagination, there's no way that they would tackle our neighborhood with our hills on just a standard bike. So the beauty of an electric bike is that it just gives you that little bit extra bit of oomph. Like you can see me using the throttle there. I came to a complete stop right at the bottom of a hill, and then rather than kind of killing myself to go up that hill, I popped the throttle just a little bit, and it makes the entire experience much more comfortable. But unless I'm pressing that throttle, as you can see, my computer is currently in 6, which means my pedal assist is off. So just pedaling with no throttle like I have right now, this is all me pedaling this really heavy bike. I'm getting exactly the same amount of workout as I would be getting on a standard bike, but I have that added option of just kind of bumping myself up at the end, which I love, especially for those uphills. That's the main reason that we went with these Pedego bikes, because they have both the pedal assist and full throttle. And not only that, they have them, they can basically be used simultaneously, so you don't have to change a setting or get off or come to a complete stop or anything like that to switch between your throttle and your pedal assist. You just leave your pedal assist on whatever you want. You can go up and down all throughout your journey, and then hit that throttle when you need it, back off when you don't. That is, to me, a huge selling point for these e-bikes versus some of the other options. All right, like I promised, I'll give you a good view here of the skeletons. They are so silly. I love them so much. Like I said, basically every day they have added something to the experience. So I will keep showing these guys to you as they come up. And I will also go and link my video from back in May when they did the 6-month halfway there, so that you get to see those as well. But another big deciding factor for us in going with the Pedego electric bikes is that they have hydraulic brakes on both front and rear, I believe. And when you're braking, it is so important that you be able to brake quickly and effectively without any skidding or too much of a run. Same as in your car, you want to be able to stop on a dime, as they say. And excuse me, that is doubly true with, again, our hilly area, because like you'll see as I'm going down this hill, I'm not pedaling, I'm not using any pedal assist or throttle. This is just the normal coasting speed of me on a bike, and it gets to be honestly too fast for me. especially going into that cul-de-sac where I'm gonna have to make a complete 180 turn. So I am braking, and as you can see, we stop very quickly, very little resistance. Just basically go, even on that downhill, go from just a little bit to a lot very, very quickly. And again, showing you those brakes, and here I'm just using the rear brakes. I'm honestly a little bit afraid of the front brakes. Like, that's probably bad bicyclist, and some people who are better cyclists than me will probably explain why in the comments. Please do, if you know. I heard one time that if you use too much front brake, then you could flip over the front of your bicycle, and basically that scared me into I almost never ever use my front brake for fear of using it too much. So 99.9% of the time when I'm braking, it is rear brake only. Once again, like I said, that's probably a bad habit, but it has worked perfectly well so far for me. I've never had an issue with stopping power, not being able to stop enough, and there have absolutely been times when a motorist hasn't seen me and I've had to kind of stop on a dime. So it's just really nice to have it. Especially when I do have the trolley on with the kids in the back, as that excuse me, as that adds quite a good bit of extra weight, both from the trolley itself and then from the weight of my two kids. This is the point in a ride when, if my kids were with me, I would have had to sing about 15 kids songs, because they get cray-cray sometimes, and both of my children love music. Calms them down. So I should learn some bike songs, because, well, bike songs are good, I guess. I don't know. If I'm going to be biking, I should learn some songs about bikes. So if you have any biking songs, pop them in the comments. I'd love to check them out. Maybe you can hear my terrible singing voice on a future episode of Biking with Kids. I will not subject you to that now, though, so don't be afraid. This house coming up has some really glorious Halloween decorations, so I'm gonna slow down and see if I can get a good shot of them for you. We'll check them out again on the way back. As we've mentioned before, we AKA'd this series e-bikes with dummies. We couldn't call it e-bikes for dummies because we were the dummies. Didn't know hardly anything, or really anything about e-bikes before we started this process. So there's probably lots of things that I should have learned beforehand. I love the little witch he flew into the tree. Anyway, before we started on this road, like the bicycle turn arm signals that I kind of just bypass knowing by having a blinker. That's probably one of those things that would have been important for me to look up. So like, as you can see there, I did not turn and haven't for the last couple of times, turned my pedal assist off through the cul-de-sac. That's just coming from being more experienced. I've ridden, as you can see, it says 97.4 miles. I don't know if you can see that on this bike. That's not all me, but on this bike, that's probably at least 2/3, if not more, me actually being the rider. So I'm a little bit more comfortable than I was initially. Early on, I would have never tried to pedal assist through a turn like that. But it is just something you want to be very, very aware of, that if you're going to leave that pedal assist on through a curve or a cul-de-sac, be aware of that. Take the amount that you've got it turned on into consideration when you do your pedaling, so you're not like super pedaling and then run off the road. Again, like I've done. I'm not exaggerating when I say this was e-bikes with dummies, because I have been a dummy before. So don't do that. And always wear a helmet. I will be the helmet Nazi. I don't always have power over people in my family who don't like to listen, but I always wear a helmet, and I think you should too. As Grace from Piccadilly, Lake Norman says, you only get one brain, gotta wear a helmet. We're coming back up on that first house that I mentioned, with some of the better Halloween decorations. They've got all these ghosts and pumpkins and stuff on their front porch, big spiders. Ooh, love the spiders. I love seeing it when other people decorate. I don't put a ton of effort into it, but I do enjoy being in a neighborhood that decorates and getting to see all their ways. Get you a good view of these guys and all their skeletons. I love these giant skeletons people are getting this year. It's awesome. If you guys ever have questions about e-bikes for the dummy, aka me, you're more than welcome to pop them in the comments. I will do my best to either answer them or find an answer for you. Our best resource is Grace and Tom at Piccadilly of Lake Norman. I cannot sing their praises high enough. Those guys are amazing. Go check out the videos linked in the comments. But yeah, if you ever have any questions about something, hit me up in the comments. I am super happy to answer it if I know it, or find you an answer if I don't. So as we're going a bit uphill here, I don't know if you can see, but our speed is hovering right under 20 miles per hour. Gonna let this school bus pass us. So it is nice that on the uphills, we are in fact able to get that kind of speed through. I was pushing full throttle. I had the full pedal assist on. I'm not really 100% sure how the throttle and pedal assist work together. Excuse me. But with the two of them and my somewhat limited addition of power, we were able to maintain almost 20 miles per hour up that not terrible, but not insignificant hill. Foot slipped off. And then just from coasting with no throttle, we hit 27 there a second ago. So that's fun. So I don't know if you noticed there, but through that circle, got a little fast even for my taste coming out on the exit. I was at pedal assist 3. Probably should not have been that high in a cul-de-sac, but because of my trusty hydraulic brakes, I was able to completely control it, slow myself down to a more comfortable speed, and not have any issues. Haha, I remembered to turn it off that time. I'm gonna go pretty slow through this cul-de-sac because this cul-de-sac wins. when it comes to Halloween decorating. They have like all gotten together and decided to do the thing. Love the dragons, love the dinosaur. Don't know if you can see him all the way down there, but he's super cute. All of the blow-ups, I think it's glorious. And I always come to this cul-de-sac every single time because it's so much fun. So even if it's not like part of my route, I'm gonna make a special detour over to this cul-de-sac in October just to see those guys. Forgot again.